Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Dave Gandaros here. I put out videos daily in ways to create some streams of income, which will create wealth for you. If you're interested, please consider subscribing to my channel. As you can see, the cryptocurrency videos seem to get a lot of interest. If you have other interests, please comment below the video and click the show more button to see more information about the video, to see ways to contact me, other opportunities I have, some related videos that you might be interested in, and more importantly, to look at the timestamp. So if you don't have time to watch this entire video, you could jump ahead based on the topics of interest for you. So we're going to continue with our review of some cryptocurrencies. We haven't looked at this one in a couple days, and it seems that some things have happened since we last looked. So let's go through an update. It's going to be Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. Again, look below in the show more for direct links to those time frames where I'm talking about each one of those currencies in the video, in case you don't have time to watch everything. So we're going to start with Cardano. As you can see, the pitchfork we had drawn here is no longer valid. We could draw, we could tweak it to kind of follow this one. We could also, let's get rid of this Fibonacci. All right, let's get rid of everything, like I've done in my other videos. Sometimes, over time things kind of take over, and we just got to kind of do a reset. So let's get rid of everything. Let's get rid of this bat pattern. Let's get rid of this. Let's turn off the EMA. And let's jump out to the daily and let's see what we see here. Alright, so on the daily we're kind of just in a pattern here, kind of a consolidation pattern between these two ranges. You could kind of see where if you do a Fibonacci on this pivot to here, let's see where we are. So we just kind of bounced off the 61.8 and the 65. We could come down to a little bit lower scale here to see what it looks like. Well, this kind of looks maybe a little bit of a bull flag. If you draw it on the 4 hour, you can kind of see how this could be possibly in play here. Just take that and copy it over. Well, actually, realistically, it's a wedge. It's more of a wedge than a bull flag. Which is okay, because this is still bullish. This is still a very bullish pattern. It tends to break up more than down. So really what I would be doing here is looking for the breakout through this trend line. You could drop down a little bit lower if you want. Kind of see how price action's been following this. So yeah, I would wait for the breakout. Certainly you're in the range here already of buying in if you haven't. This typically could be a good range to dollar cost average into a position. So you're in there, and if it holds, it already touched and kind of bounced off. If we see some volume come in, kind of see this volume right here where this major drop-off happened. This is the type of volume we're looking at for a confirmation to the upside. So if you're playing this as a bull flag, what you can do is you could kind of, well, if it's a wedge, actually, let's keep it as a wedge. You want to measure from here to here, and you want to take that and kind of bring it out. So if you think it's going to bounce off of here, this is an area of possible target for this pattern. This, like I've always shown you, always the previous peak is always going to be an area of interest. I'm going to bring it through here. You can bring this through here and see what you see over here. You do see some wicks and some support in this area. Again, the pattern target is over here. Well, actually, the pattern target is based on the breakout, so we don't know where this is yet. Right now, if it breaks out right now, then we're hitting almost exactly this area of support and resistance that we see here as a target. So this is an area where you could be buying in. If it continues down, if it breaks lower than this, then higher probability of it to go lower than higher. But if it stays above the 61.8 and the 65, then you could play the breakout on the upside. I would set an alarm for the breakout and just trade once it happens. On the downside, let's see what kind of levels we got here. We got some support and resistance like right here. So 142. So if you were to draw a line on the downside, somewhere around here, you might see some hesitation for it to not go much lower. All right, and also just remember you have this target up here, which this is old, so let's just get rid of that. This is the target for the algos. So it's going to try and push high. So maybe scale out on these levels, and then certainly as the again down here, this is mapping up to the 1618. On the downside, you still got these two. Just like you have these on the upside, you have these on the downside. So this could be. This could be some targets down here. It's really low. Price is very low here. It'd be really cool if we did get down this low to buy in some more. Damn it, I'm having technical difficulties today. So those are my views on Cardano based on the most recent price action. You see this falling wedge, which is very bullish. So if you want to consider this a pennant, it's a little harder to say that, but I guess you could. The other target would be measured from here to here. Then you would take it from wherever it breaks out. You could kind of see maybe it's going to go to this high, depending on where it breaks out. You hope it's going to break out somewhere before the 65. You don't want it coming down below 65. It starts getting dicey if it goes lower. So really, that's the update for Cardano. Consider scaling out as it breaks out. When it breaks out, make sure you put your stop loss somewhere underneath this trend line. When it comes up to this this level here, put your stop loss in. Price action might come up here, check and go up, check and go up. Just continue moving up your stop loss as it goes up. Make sure once it really moves away a good amount, you put your stop loss to break even, so you're not losing the trade. And from there, you're from these different levels. When you start moving the stop loss higher, you're guaranteeing yourself profits, and nothing wrong with that. So you don't want to have a losing trade once you're in and it moves far enough away. Move it to break even so that you're not risking anything and you're leaving it room to breathe. And once it comes up and pivots and goes back up again, move up your stop losses accordingly. Even up here, if you want to keep this going past this mark, if it passes it and it comes down and checks it again, move your stop loss here. Every time you do that, you're guaranteeing, you're kind of locking in a guaranteed profit. Even though the trade is still open, you're not going to lose money because now you're locking in this much above your buy-in, this much above your buy-in, and this much above your buy-in. So nothing wrong with trading risk-free. That's the goal of every trader, is to lock in some profits and then leave some for a risk-free trade. Let me just get rid of all this. We could come back to these higher levels once we see what's going on with the price. For now, let's clean up the charts, and this is the immediate future that we have to worry about. $1.60 on the upside, $1.40, maybe $1.50. So $1.40, $1.50, and $1.60. Those are the immediate short-term targets. if this pattern plays out. Like I said, it could be a bull flag or it could be a wedge. Right now, it's more like a wedge than a bull flag. To me, it's looking more like this than a bull flag. But this is still very bullish. The bull flag is very bullish, dependent, whatever you want to call it. They're all bullish patterns. So at least scale out once it hits this all-time high again. Take some profits, because it could become a double top. It could become an M and start heading back down. You never know. You want to believe everything is going to go up, but until you actually cash out and you take money and put it in your bank, it's not real. So nothing wrong with cashing out. Don't put everything on there unless if it's a longer term hold, that's a different story. But if this is a trading account and you're trading funds, you got to lock in gains. You could see it already almost double top twice here. So there's going to be a lot of resistance when it gets back up to this level. You can see it all the way back here. Even here, you got some here. So, this is really going to be a strong level to break. So as it approaches it, consider taking some out at 145 or 146, somewhere around there. All right, next one. Bitcoin. All right, so you can see Bitcoin is still trying to stay within this pitchfork. Let's check out the extensions to 125. So you can see the 125 did come into play here. It actually did. It stayed within that. So if this pitchfork is still being real and still holding true, this was basically, you can consider this a fake out. At the higher time frame, it might have been a wick, depending on how high you go. Yeah, so on the daily, you're still within the triangle pattern. When you drop down to the 4 hour, you could kind of see that it kind of faked out. What you could do, if we're playing wicks here, so we could, get this a little tighter here and keep the wicks within inside the triangle. Kind of deviates a little bit from the pitchfork pivot, but you got a triangle within a pitchfork right now. The upper side is still staying in there, so you're still waiting for the breakout, and we're still waiting for this target D to be hit. So 65,000 is the first target, and you could kind of see where we had the previous all-time 61,788 is a possible area you want to sell. The D could be another possibility to sell, and then the 68,000, which was another target based on another fib level extension. So that really is all of the tweaks that you had to do to this pattern. Just kind of realize that this was a little mini fake out. We might see more negativity tonight. Sundays, historically, the last couple of weeks, they've been pretty weak for Bitcoin, but we'll see if it stays within this pattern, or if maybe everyone's thinking it's going to sell this time, maybe it's going to do the opposite. And you could kind of see a W, another W, a W here, and another higher low. So you got higher low, higher low, higher low. The only thing is we haven't gotten past this first. Now we got to break this level, which is about 59.9, and then we got that right here, basically 60,000. We got to break 50,000 to start creating higher highs. That's the critical, and that'll amount to a breakout of this pattern if you hit 60,000, right? Because we're already over here. So staying within the 59.5 is basically staying within this triangle. But once you get to 60,000, you already broke out. So if it goes that high and it gets to 60,000, hopefully you get the volume and we push through 60,000 to get past this and start creating higher highs, because we got higher lows, we just don't have higher highs yet. All right, so that's all for Bitcoin. Ethereum. All right, Ethereum. Ethereum has been breaking out, but not really breaking out. I mean, we got a little bit of volume here. So what this might mean that we have to kind of adjust this pattern. Maybe the pattern's more like this. Maybe we're still within this triangle. So you got to continue coming back and taking a look at this and considering the the pivots that are reacting accordingly. So right now, this is probably more of a realistic downward-facing triangle / wedge. This pitchfork still held through. You can see here where we bounced with a wick. We went through with a wick, came back in, and these two are still staying within the pitchfork. Let's just tweak these. Sometimes it's a pain, but you got to come in, you got to continually tweak these, because look, now if you zoom in a little further, you can see I'm not touching here. So what you got to do is you got to just continue coming out and just moving this ever so slightly, and then zooming back in. You can see now I'm touching that one. And when you do that, you can see these also touch. So that's the little tweak you got to do for the pitchfork. So we're still waiting for the breakout on the upside, and these are still the targets. So nothing else to really say about this one. Just as always, you just got to come back and you got to kind of just tweak these patterns to what the latest price action is telling you. So we just had since it didn't respect this line too much and it kind of rode back down, this was the one that's been respected. So we got two on the top side, two on the bottom side that have touched, and that's the current pattern we're in. Again, this is probably going to be the area. It's probably going to be the area of interest, because you got the pitchfork going up and you got the triangle going down. So that's probably where you're going to see some action. A decision point for price to either continue with the pitchfork or continue with the pattern down. You can make this as small or as big as you want. Just a point that this is going to be an interesting area. So that's it with Ethereum. Again, a couple people are commenting that I'm saying it could go up and it could go down, and that's how it is. It's price action. You look at the price action, you put stuff on here, and you kind of come up with a plan. If it breaks up, this is what I'm going to do. If it breaks down, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just looking on the charts and figuring out what could be possible. So if you're looking for me to foretell the future, you're in the wrong place. I'm not a fortune teller. And if I was, I'd be a millionaire, and I wouldn't be doing videos, and I'd be just doing everything to create money for myself. So again, just stop expecting easy, quick answers, and take the time and learn the skill set and do this on your own charts. Learn how to do this. This is going to help you in the long run to become a profitable trader. And when anyone tells you they know what the future price is going to be, they don't know. And they're lying to you if they do. All they can do is anticipate and come up with probabilistic methods and stochastic math to say what could be possible. But the best traders are traders that are waiting for something to happen to take the trade, or something to happen to not take the trade. So if you're just blindly going in thinking, oh, it's going to go up, and that's fine. That's fine. If it's a long-term play that you're doing and you're dollar cost averaging in, you don't have anything, then just start buying. Buying it every week, buying it every 2 weeks, buying it every month, whatever it is. Set aside your budget and just buy and create a position for yourself. And you got to be happy with that coin if you're going to do that, because it's a long-term hold. A lot of the old coins are not going to be around in the long term. If you deal with something like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Cardano, they're going to be here. They're not going away anytime soon. So if you want to create a long-term position on those are very good ones to pick. Some of the other ones that we deal with and we trade with, I don't know if they're going to be here next year. But right now, you're just looking at the price action and making money on them while they're here. So I don't believe in them, and I wouldn't do a long-term hold in them. But I do believe in them when price action presents itself to a winning trade or a possible winning trade based on all the criteria you figured out in these charts. So again, I'm sorry for the rant, but I'm a little tired of people saying that I said it could go up and it could go down, and it could, and that's the truth. It can. So if you're expecting something else, then you're in the wrong place. All right, next chart. Chainlink. All right, so you remember what I mentioned, possibly if you're watching a couple of my videos. In another video, I said anytime you got the crosses between the direction of one pitchfork compared to a direction of another pitchfork, there's typically action that happens. So like you can see right here, with this cross, you saw a price movement. You know, with these two crosses, you saw some volatility. Over here, you saw this cross right here. This was a big one because it was going to decide if it's going to go up and it's going to go down. You saw right at the crossing, price pushed up, and then it went sideways a little bit, and then it pushed up again, stayed within here, now fell down. So it's undetermined which way this is going to go. What you could do for now is just add these extension lines and see what happens here. So it's kind of like in Never Never Land right now, where again it's being influenced by the Bitcoin price and the other coin prices, and it doesn't really have an identity for itself yet. I could see a triangle kind of forming here. Right now it's kind of steep. Well, it's probably going to end up being something, something different. But you gotta put in what you see. So right now this is where it would be until we get more information. So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. Here, 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 here. Like I said, chances are this is going to go higher. It's not going to stay here, and maybe it becomes something more along these lines. Maybe it's going to react to this fib level right here. But again, until we know anything else, we got to put it there. So this is what we're currently working on. If we see it break up with high volume, you see this right here, this high volume? This goes back to what I was just saying. This high volume is I'm actually surprised it didn't go up further with all this volume in this one candle. This one candle with all that volume just kind of went back and forth here. Kind of interesting. Well, right now it's headed down. Let's see where it goes. There's no trades to be happening right now. If you do see it break up with high volume, if you see something like this out of this, if it breaks this trend line, then consider it going higher, and then you could take the you could take from here to the bottom. If it happens to break out here, that's where the target would be. From the looks of it, it's going to go down before it goes up. So let's just see. Let's just place this there, and let's see if there's a breakout, and let's see if it makes it up here to the 1618 or 1414. I'm going to clear off some of these fib levels, these fibs, to kind of make it a little clearer here. Let me get rid of this. I'm not sure what the hell that was. Oh, that was the last. Alright, so this is gone. This is gone. This is kind of where we are right now. Could even take away this right now. Let's just tweak this up a little bit here. Get rid of that. Let's get rid of this. Just up to that pivot. It's that downward one. This is the upward one. that somewhere like that. This one you could kind of, you got to kind of see what happens here. Double top. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see what's going on in a higher time frame. All right. Actually, let's do this. Look at this. Sorry about this, guys, but this is kind of what you got to do when you're doing your own charts here. You got to kind of take a step back sometimes. You got to look. So right here, this looks like a nice triangle formation on the higher time frame. This D point still has to be formed. It hasn't been formed yet, but this is pretty realistic triangle formation that's happening here. You could go here, cross some more wicks, and keep that nice and tight. And same thing here. You can kind of just bring this in. And you want to cross as many wicks as you can. So let's just keep it like that on the daily. We are coming to a point where there's going to be a breakout though, based on this daily. So from here, these are the, from this trend line, from this peak down to this level here. I guess we can consider that. If the breakout happens that way, that's where we can go. And if the breakout happens down, this is where we can go. So this matches up to a resistance level. So this is the target on the upside. This is the target down here. And of course, you always want to consider the previous peaks and the previous pivot down here. So this is where, where things can go. I got, if you take off the log, it looks a lot different. It looked a little funky with the log on because it's skewed. Try to fit everything on here. But these are the upside targets, downside targets. Wait for the breakout. Wait for some volume. Look for volume like up here. You can see down here we have the average volume down in here, which I already marked off right here. See this? This is the average volume. So you want something higher than that. Something like this would be great on either the upside or downside before you take a trade. So that's what I see in terms of Ethereum. Again, I'm more bullish than bearish, so I expect possibly a break up. So set your alarm, set your trend line, put an alarm on it, wait for it to break out, look for volume, and let's see where it goes. Oh, that was Chainlink. All right, so that's all four. So I took care of all four. That's the update. So that's where we stand with things. Let's just kind of scale out some of this stuff. It's a little too far. All right, so we got the chart set. Wait for the breakouts on these traps and take the trade. All right. Best of luck. Be safe. Make sure you understand risk management. Make sure you do your own analysis and decide what's right for you. This is educational purposes. I just want to kind of show you how to go about putting patterns on the chart, figuring out levels, and that's it. So take care, guys. Until next time, I look forward to having you as a subscriber. Click the little bell for notifications. Look under the video for the timestamps. Again, it's 30 minutes in, so if you watched it already, you probably know about the timestamps, or it doesn't matter to you right now, unless you want to jump back and look at something else I talked about. Look at ways to contact me, look at my other opportunities, and look for my next video by subscribing and clicking the little bell. Just remember, once I get up to 2,000 subscribers on my channel, I'll be doing a giveaway. So please share, like, and push this video out there so other people can see it, and my subscriber base can grow. Get this video in front of more people so that they can learn technical analysis and become profitable traders. I wish you guys all the best. Until my next video, take care.